For Hunter Irvine, fishing is a passion. He's on his boat at least twice a week.
I catch kingfish, wahoo, and dolphin.
At 13 years old, he's already got what they call cred. He's in a fishing hall of fame, and Hunter's a state champion in Florida. He's a natural, born, it would seem, to be on the water, catching fish.
I was about 7 years old when I started fishing professionally.
By all appearances, Hunter has a great life, but appearance can be deceiving. You see, Hunter has a rare disease called neurofibromatosis, or NF2. There is no cure. The disease causes tumors to grow, particularly on the brain and spine, leaving its victims with hearing and mobility loss. That is where research scientist Cristina Fernandez-Valle comes in, bringing with her hope.
There's going to be a treatment, not a cure, but a treatment that's going to delay progression of the disease, delay having surgeries, and give these individuals and their family a better quality of life that isn't going to the doctors every month.
Fernandez-Valle says her team at the University of Central Florida in Orlando is making steady progress. She met with Hunter's dad, Lance, bringing him up to date on their latest work.
The drugs we're testing now are going to target the tumor cells themselves.
So actually target the tumor.
For Hunter and his family, it is not easy dealing with a disease that is slowly robbing him of his youth.
He's already lost the use of his left foot. He's paralyzed his left foot. They already found some spinal tumors, and the brain tumors continue to grow 2 to 4 millimeters a year. So, you know, we're kind of like in a race to save his quality of life.
Fernandez-Valle has spent decades searching for the silver bullet that will turn fear to optimism. Born in Cuba, she grew up in Miami. She got her PhD at the University of Miami. For an Hispanic woman scientist, the city with its Latin flavor was a comfort zone.
And I think as a Hispanic woman in Miami, I just thought I was just another scientist. But when you come up to Central Florida, you realize that it's 200 miles north, but it's a different city. It's
A different culture.
Different culture. Then I started feeling a little different.
That was 20 years ago. Christina's work on NF2 at the University of Central Florida has brought her national recognition. But there were times when she felt like, well, a goldfish in a bowl.
And I do recall, and this is often the case, you would be the only Hispanic, male or female, on a panel. And it's like, oh, I'm now representing.
You felt like, did you ever feel like you were the token?
I was the token.
Against that backdrop, Cristina found a voice that went beyond just the science.
So how did the cells look like when you extracted the protein?
Fernandez-Valle gained a reputation for being a mentor, a role model for minority students and older students devoted to science but who have other obligations.
But I have found all of my minority males and females, whether they have families or not, whether they're a minority or not, are all hardworking, and it's up to us to help accommodate their work schedules. And as long as they get their work done, you know, if they have to leave at 4, you know, it's okay. We all have families, and it helps make us more balanced, productive individuals.
So you start here, and then what it will calculate.
Maria Clara Franco, a scientist born and educated in Argentina, says she was lucky to find Cristina. When funding ran dry in the lab where Clara Franco worked, Cristina took her in.
If you look at all the data together.
Being an Hispanic scientist is far from the hard part.
I would say the fact that we are Hispanic doesn't affect us as much as actually being moms.
Clara Franco is the mother of twins. Balancing science and her family is not easy, but she knows Cristina gets it.
She's completely understands that I have a family, and even when we work very hard, she understands that I have kids, and it's not the same as being a graduate student when I have a lot of time to work.
Viewed purely as a scientist, Fernandez-Valle is no different from the many thousands of others, brilliant and driven. But she is also unique.
As a female Hispanic who's a full professor, who's been federally funded, scientific investigator for 20 years. That is kind of unusual.
A couple hours up the road in Gainesville, Florida, Evelyn Bracho Sanchez spends a sweltering late afternoon jogging with friends, a way to decompress after a long day in the lab.
It's moving a gel, so we need to keep it in motion.
Moving a gel.
It's rotating, so literally we just need it to move.
Bracho Sanchez is in her final year of graduate school in biomedical engineering at the University of Florida. Her field, type 1 diabetes. Evelyn moved to the United States from Venezuela at the age of 12 with her parents and siblings.
So this little picture, this down in Venezuela?
Yes, it is.
Looks like a birthday party or something, right? Or family
It
vacation?
was a family vacation. Both of my parents over here, my sister, my younger brother.
Was it a culture shock for you?
I started in middle school, did not know a word of English. The one class that I was good at, no matter the language, was math. And I succeeded at it, and I was doing good, and I liked it.
In those years, her dad, Roswell, also a scientist, worked out at the Kennedy Space Center.
0 and lift off.
Watching space shuttle launches was the epitome of how different her world had become.
Do you think it was more difficult or easier for you as both a woman and a minority? Were there obstacles or advantages?
It's not enough to just be a minority student. It's not enough to just check that box. I think the fact that I also had to turn in my resume, I had to turn in all the other things I've done is what got me the awards that I have. It's not so much that I'm a minority student, that I'm a woman in engineering, but the hard work that comes with it, because that's not enough anymore. There's tons of Hispanic women in engineering, so what sets me apart is my work.
And that work, not her minority status, is what she says got her awards and scholarships and fellowships.
I always took it as a challenge. So I know that there are difficulties with being a minority student, with being a woman, but I never took it as it's going to be hard. I'd rather stay away from it. It was more like, bring it on. We're going to do this, and we're going to do it well.
Evelyn is clearly a shining star. Always, she says, looking for something she can do to make a positive impact on society. And she's already giving back. She's been a mentor to incoming minority graduate students on everything from how to navigate the system to managing finances and balancing work and life. These days, Evelyn spends long hours in the lab with her good friend Antonietta.
Me salieron 300 microgramos.
Science is science, no matter the language.
Being bilingual has to be a big advantage to you.
It is, it is. We have a saying in Spanish, if you speak 2 languages, you're worth 2 people.
There is a common thread that runs through the stories of these Hispanic women in science. Their last names or where they came from didn't stop them. They made their personal journeys up the mountain, and they made it look easy.